Welcome to the Chilling E Spilling podcast. Two college best friends stay chilling E spilling the tea on anything and everything from life experiences, relationship advice, pop entertainment news, and culture. Your new besties are waiting for you to join the conversation. Here are your hosts, Emily and Hector.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Emily Zapata.
What's up, putas? You already know it's Hector from Chillin' E Spillin'. And today's episode, we're going to do things a little bit different today. So for today, we were asked to create a playlist to learn more about each other and practically the thoughts in our beautiful minds, as Emily says. Obviously, you heard us talk about Ari, Michael. Those are our favorites. But what's the music that we don't necessarily talk about, like our favorite song at the moment, what we listen to when we're feeling our feels, any embarrassing songs, or just music we don't necessarily just are vocal about. So, Emily,
Yes.
to start things off, what was your first impression of the playlist I sent you, just looking at it without listening to any of it?
First impression is like, damn, this shit is long.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, I had to put that aside, but I was excited because regardless, I think that music is a big part of us. And in some ways, it represents your soul, and what you're kind of into in the moment. So I was curious to know to get to know you a little bit more in the musical sense, not just you as how you are with me. Yeah. But seeing that side of seeing that music side to you and what you find special in these songs, and hear them out and see what what goods I will take from your playlist.
Ooh.
Yes, I was excited for that. I was like, what am I gonna learn, or what am I gonna take away that I haven't heard from the set list that you gave me. And yeah, that was my first impression.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what about you?
Okay, so I feel like first impressions, I don't mean this in a shady way, predictable.
Yeah.
In the sense where I already guessed a couple of the songs. I was like, watch this bitch put this song. Sure enough, they were there.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see a different side. There was I'm a little spoiler. There was some like soul music that was in there that I get from the Michael Jackson aspect, but the artist itself, I was like, okay, like let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And then when I saw Amy Winehouse,
Yeah.
bitch, I was like, okay, I'm excited.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you.
It makes me happy that hopefully like you get to see that side of me like in the music, because I felt really bare. I don't know about you, but I was like the sense of like I'm giving someone a playlist, like my playlist of like kind of things that have helped me in different situations, or things that I find really help me in certain times.
Quick question. Do you think making playlists is a love language? Could be considered one?
It could be considered one. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, because, people call in to radio stations and they're like, I want to dedicate this song to so-and-so. So in some ways, by making a playlist, hazte cuenta que it'd be like how back in the days they would do mixtapes for their loved ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, is this, this is your mixtape.
For sure. All right. You want to dive in first? You could start with a song or just take it away.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Yes. All right. So it's funny. I wanted to ask you a little bit about this one song. I was like, what is it doing here? Just because it was kind of like left field for me, like in the sense, like.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Was it Terror in the Woods?
No.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It was actually Falling for You.
Okay.
Just because
I'm curious.
Was so.
Yeah. Why do you think it's left field?
Because it's Disney. And the meaning of the song, I don't know. Like I was just like, you got a lover boy feels in you, like and it just made me think like, oh, you're all gushy gushy.
Is she good? Delete this episode now.
So I want to know why that song in your playlist.
So I wanted to be like super vulnerable with this playlist. So I did grab music from practically a bunch of my playlists. So it's a big word again, an amalgamation of other playlists. That song is one of my favorites from that movie. And the thing is, a lot of my playlists, and my friend clocked me on this, they're like, why the fuck is this playlist all about love when you yourself, like, you know, you don't really show that self or like express yourself. But the thing is, with music, the artist could say it means one thing, but to me, it means a completely different other thing. Like, there's another song in that playlist. It's obviously about love and heartbreak and everything, but to me, I interpret it as suicide. Because there's lyrics that says like, when life gets too complicated, will you stand with me after dark? I'll stay in the limelight. Like a beautiful afterthought. And to me, I was like, suicide. Like, you know, in a way, it's like you're free from all the chains and everything. Meanwhile, the artist, what they really meant was it's love and the toxicity behind it and all that. But yeah, that song, yeah, I'm a slut for that song. I'll be honest. It's such a good song. Very 60s inspired. Yes. Obviously, I'm a fan of like different eras, the 80s, but I've really been into 60s. So yeah, that's why I put that song.
Interesting. Well, I love that. Honestly, that's my favorite song from that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. I'm not going to lie. And that's why I was like, oh, we have something in common. Like, you know, like, oh, this is, you know, you like the song too. But yeah, I was very surprised. But you were, would you say that you considered this song differently than how I interpret it? Or because you mentioned the other song, but this one is specifically, are you sticking with the lyrics? That that's something how everybody else would interpret it? Do you interpret differently for this song in specific?
I wouldn't. Okay, so lyrics, yes, meaning no. Because when I hear that song, all I picture is 60s. You know, like I get the aesthetic from it, not necessarily the meaning.
Okay.
So whereas people are like, oh, like this, the words are speaking to me. I'm like, no, the music, the composition, just everything.
Interesting. Okay, got it. Okay. One other one.
Oh, okay. From left field?
Not from left field, but
gotcha.
I'm stealing from you. I already added it to my own
I was gonna ask
Apple Music. Yes. It's Always and Forever by Heatwave.
Bitch. Ooh, I just got chills from that.
And I wrote down that gave me chills.
Bitch, stop.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You could look at right now my notes and I put, okay, this is just the level girl in me. But I said this is like a wedding song that I would like consider. And also I just put like one lyric that stood out to me. It's like, love me in your own special way.
Yes.
I love that. And I said, yeah, it gave me chills. But
for that song, I put it there because it reminds me of my childhood and how I grew up, especially in the area that I grew up. My family and practically just environment was very like low riders and like, you know, so I would constantly be exposed to that kind of music. And yeah, I had to have that song specifically in my playlist because I feel like it encaptures everything else rather than putting like this song. I was like, you know what? Let me pick one song that really stuck out to me from my childhood. So let me put that song. And it kind of sucks because when I think about it now, when I look back at childhood, it's kind of tarnished by certain people and my relationship with them now. But just having that song kind of takes you back and not necessarily focus on that aspect.
Gotcha.
Okay, so obviously when I saw that Whitney Houston, Saving All My Love for You, I was like, okay, we got something in common. But I'm curious to like the psychology of why you put that song. Like, is it just your favorite song, or was there a certain reason why you put it in there?
I love Whitney Houston. I specifically love this song just because her vocals, man, like it was so inspiring to me back then that I was like, oh, I wanted to be her and copy her as much as I could. Because just like the sound of her voice, the energy, the sadness. She really takes you through the emotions with her any song. I feel like most of her songs that she has.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say like necessarily like I can't relate to the lyrics,
Uh-huh.
but like too much. But so like in the sense that because she talks about like saving all my love or
Mm-hmm.
um like a her man, but it just encapsulated that a time in like high school for me where she was just like I was listening to that song on repeat. It just spoke to me. It just same like you. It was like the composition,
Mm-hmm.
her voice, the soothingness. Like I just love it all, and I love to like when I am getting ready
Mm-hmm.
and like you're showering and I would put my Alexa on and I would like belt out this song with her. Like, yeah,
Ooh.
so it was like part of my little mini concert
Damn.
in
Okay. So
my
that song's always gonna be in it
yes.
for
Yes,
sure.
yeah. Yep. So that's that one. That's why. She's
Ooh.
iconic.
Okay.
Of course.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
This may be a little deep.
Yeah.
So when I listened to this song,
Mhm.
I really wanted to hear more about it. So you put Ya no vivo por vivir
Yeah.
by Juan Gabriel.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Obviously it's in the title.
Uh-huh.
But would you say someone taught you to live and someone else taught you to love, or did that one person who taught you to live also teach you to love as well? Like, is there a person in your life?
Um this song in particular comes from my parents.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is actually their wedding song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know about this until I watched their wedding video. And that song just stuck with me. But after like hearing like the meaning and hearing the lyrics, I could see like um I could see that through my parents' love
Yeah.
and and their way of living, how they encapture that song.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is something so beautiful, like having the love of your life and, saying like, I'll love you, I'll, cherish you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not just living for yourself, but you're living for that other person. Like that is beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want a love like that. And I think like by me hearing it gives me the sense of hope that I'll hopefully find um that special person that shares that same kind of not mindset but like
Mm-hmm.
um belief in like we got each other and I will do everything in my power to make you happy and that person will make the the other person happy as well and yeah just hopefully live or try to do it live as much as possible and live life in the moment
Mm-hmm.
and care for each other and even if one does pass away that love continues and that love will flourish into eternity.
To add on to that, you don't have to answer in detail. You could
Mm-hmm.
just say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but do you think someone else also taught you not to love and not to live at the same time?
Not to not necessarily. I don't think so.
But do you
No.
think that's possible in like just in life? Like, do you think
Yeah.
there's people like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely agree. So yeah, people whoever listens it could take it one way or
Gotcha.
the other.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, I take it as the positive side.
Yeah.
No. But it's funny. I think like now that you mentioned that, um, I see that a little bit
Mm-hmm.
in how people that are married
Mm-hmm.
when their loved one when their partner dies, they lose it. They lose themselves. And I see that with my grandpa
Mm-hmm.
who lost my grandma, who she was really young, and he's just been like since she's passed, he's been so stubborn and not wanting to interact as much with the family, I think, or to do much because he doesn't have that person that would push him to like do family events with them or like to go out with us as a family. Like he'd just rather stay at home and not do nothing. Unfortunate to say, like, but we don't really matter to him. Like he's just more so on like I want to, I want to like pass away sooner so I could be with her.
Yeah.
I would feel like, why aren't we motivators for you to want to stay with us?
Yeah.
To stay here on earth and convivir con nosotros. Like, why do you have to leave?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because as for right now, you being here with us is for a moment. What's to say the next day you pass?
Yeah.
You know? And because you were so stubborn in your ways and you don't want to go out with us, we didn't get that opportunity to have more quality time. And then what happens to us? Then we're left with that sadness because you left and we didn't have that time. But you're fine with it because you're with my grandpa would be with my grandma, but you're leaving away 4 children, and grandchildren that really love you and appreciate the love that was given. And I feel like sometimes we're not considered, which I think is like kind of sad because as a parent you would think like you put your children first and kind of
yeah,
and their thoughts and feelings and like, oh, I'm gonna tough it out because they're here, but that being so strong-willed to not want to is like, damn, that hurts a little.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that got deep. Okay.
Trust, that's like the first one.
Yeah, I know. So another thing that stood out to me a lot. Your playlist gives very much 80s club vibes.
Ooh, okay.
Like, I don't know, as I was listening to your playlist, I don't know if you've seen the movie A Night at the Roxenberg.
No.
Yeah, it was giving much to me that vibe.
Okay.
Like very like groovy. But like, I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. Like that's how I would explain it. Like very club vibes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
And not that I don't like it, but it's just not my vibe.
For sure.
I feel like you have to kind of like.
It's a distinct taste.
Yes, a distinct taste. But I would play it as I'm working out because most of them are kind of like beats that you like that were consistent. And then like if I'm working out, like I would need something like that so the energy doesn't die down.
Ooh, what's funny about that is the way I designed it. It's slow, then goes up, then drastic slow, then up, then middle.
Yeah. But I mean, that's good because I'm saying like as for a workout, I think it'd be great. Because sometimes like when you're like low, like, okay, rest time. And then like it goes back up, then okay, like let me like I was thinking I could do like stairs or like or what's it called, or stairs or like running
cardio
for
sure.
Those are but that's one thing that I noticed, and I think that's maybe you can elaborate a little bit on how that acquired taste came to be. I don't know, like, do you have a specific influence?
So everyone knows I'm an 80s slut. I had so many more songs, but the thing is, if you look at it, there's very few 80s songs that I put. Yeah, so okay, let's see. I know there was Whitney Houston. There was Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Technically In a Dream is a 90s song, but has a lot of like 80s influences and is constantly being paired with it. I actually tried to not put as much 80s to be more on the vulnerable side. And it's funny that you say it's like for working out. Yeah. Because there's like a huge chunk of it where it's actually really deep. But I gravitate towards towards the music that has super deep meanings, but still have like a beat drop.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the bounciness was consistent throughout. I feel like that was a commonality in all these songs. And I wouldn't say because the ones you mentioned, like, yes, those are from the 80s, but the songs have that element,
yes,
of the bounciness that made me think that this was all like
80s
inspired. Yeah. So that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to ask, like, that influence. So
yeah, and it's funny because I try to avoid 80s as much as possible too, but there's just songs that have a hint of 80s, so that's probably why I gravitate towards them and still manage to put them in.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Quick question. What's the least favorite song from my playlist? And I'll give you my least favorite song from your playlist.
Oh, scared. Okay. Okay. It's actually, I think you mentioned it.
Turn in the Woods?
Yes.
Okay, I see that.
You figured? Yeah.
That's the one I said I put on purpose because I thought it would be so funny to see a Latina just driving home listening to a song like that.
Yeah. I literally put wow. And then I put not for me. A little bit too much. And I said like mosh pit vibes.
There is a scream in it. So
that's
yeah.
that's
that song is very horror based.
Yeah. I got that.
What the thing about that song specifically is what made me gravitate it like towards it is not only is it part of one of my favorite shows and it's like one of the runway songs. So even though it's rock and like metal and all that, it's actually a runway song.
Interesting.
So trust and believe, I'm fucking stomping to that song whenever it's like playing. And especially like at the gym, I'm always listening to that song specifically.
Interesting.
I just thought it was funny, like a Latina who's like super into like, you know, Latino music or reggaeton and all that. Just listening to it. So I was like, I have to put it. And yeah.
Well, that was mine.
Can you guess what was the song that I put?
Let me look at
for sure.
Which one would it be? Was it Justin Timberlake?
Rock
Your Body? I knew it.
You want to know what I put?
Such white guy music, trying to impersonate like soul pop funk.
Ooh, close. I put Canceled Swine. Anyway, Stan, Britney, and Stream Stronger. But if I wasn't biased, I'd probably put Skippin' by Mario. It's not that it was a bad song. It's just you know when you have like all these other amazing songs.
Yeah.
It's just the bar set.
Yeah. I get that.
There was this one specific song. I kind of predicted it was gonna be on it, but I gotta ask you. Yeah. So Red Nose, Sage the Gemini, a classic. Always throwing it back. But I want to know what. So no one is around, and the song comes on shuffle during, like you're listening to your playlist. What are you doing?
Obviously twerking.
Yeah, but like specifics, like give me dance moves. Like what you doing?
Like I'm body rolling. I'm like feeling myself and stuff, and yeah, I just get low and drop it to the ground.
Hey,
and I mean, it's funny. It be playing on my car, and I get it. Like I'm like,
as you should.
Stick my tongue out and everything. It's a whole mood. Yeah, it just reminds me of high school, and everybody was throwing it back.
For sure.
Whenever that song would play, and I just thought it was like good times, core memories right there.
Those poor teachers' assistants, though.
Oh, yes.
Like they could try to stop it, but it was not doing anything.
And you know the teachers be staring hard, and I'm like, what are you looking at?
Shoot.
Like you're too grown to be watching, you know, teens like almost dry humping. I feel I wasn't doing that, but. Yeah, I was having fun with the girls. Yeah. What about you? Yeah.
On my playlist?
Yeah, or I mean, like one that you just like really grew out to from your playlist.
Ooh, so I put a lot of cunty music on it.
I know. I was gonna say, is it Purr?
That's one of them.
Yeah.
I'm fucking obsessed with Slater.
Yes.
Her album Starfucker. Chef's Kiss.
Yes, love it. My thoughts on that is that I put me while doing a catwalk in a hot outfit.
Ooh. You might like James Dean.
Okay.
That's a good song.
For sure. But let's get into like the maybe because I feel like we tapped into it, but like is there any song in particular that was just kind of mid for you? From my playlist.
Oh, from your playlist.
Yes.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I would have to go with the same answer. The song by Mario, right?
Okay.
Mario.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought that was on maybe like also your like lower dislike list. No. You think it's mid?
Like it's good. It's just like compared to the other one. Because I mean, how do you compare to Back to Black by Amy Winehouse?
Yeah.
Like that song, like the lyrics too.
Yes. Yeah. Iconic.
I know we're trying to avoid talking about Ari and MJ, but you put The Way You Make Me Feel by Michael Jackson. Okay, so say if all the songs are disappearing from existence, is that the one song you would want to keep from his entire like yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
Let me see like
yeah. It's because there's so many. I feel like it's hard.
So then why this one song out of all of them?
Because this also connects to a core memory of mine. In preschool, I would dress as Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson?
Yeah, like, you know what? I'd take the glove, I'd take, you know, the jacket and everything. And it was like almost like a daily thing, not even gonna lie. Yeah, and
moonwalking to get a apple juice box.
For real. That was my shit. But for this song in particular, I learned the dance to this. This was my first ever like Michael Jackson song that I learned the dance to, and I would remember like performing it for like my mom, like sometimes on the Sunday, you know, like you're cleaning and everything, and then there'd be like this dance breakdown, and I'd always like so much fun.
Okay, so between Thriller and The Way You Make Me Feel, which one are you saving?
Thriller.
Okay.
I have to. At that point, I have to, because it's an iconic part, and plus, it's a big representation about Halloween, too. It's the stamp on all the Party City commercials.
Honestly, seeing a Power Ranger moonwalk.
But yeah, but you did put an Ari song as well in your playlist, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Ghosting, right?
Yes, Ghosting.
Ghosting. Why?
Ooh, okay. So when everyone thinks of my favorite Ari song, there's a couple in mind, and they always go towards like the upbeat ones. But Ghosting is such a like heartfelt and painful song that is so beautiful. But the reason I put it is because I feel like everyone during the pandemic had their song.
Yeah.
And it sticks with them for the rest of their life. So Ghostin' is my song. And I even have little T.
Yeah.
Someone bought me a blanket.
Okay.
And it's about ghosting. And you could even scan it and it takes you to the song.
Oh wow.
Because that was such like my favorite song at that time. And it still is one of my favorite songs. Ooh. So yeah, I had to put that one. Plus, you know, a little vulnerability.
Yeah. That's pretty like awesome that the blanket would take you to
the song.
Yeah, scanning it. And whoever thought of that thoughtful gift, I think that was pretty.
I don't talk to them anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
But yeah, no, I still have the memory.
Thoughtfulness is there.
It's not like it. Yeah. It's not like bad terms. It's just we don't really talk as much.
Okay. Was there any song in my playlist that you were surprised about?
Ooh. Okay.
That you were like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
There was. Okay. So it's I'm trying to think of the name. Give me a quick second.
Yeah. That's okay.
Because I highlighted it.
Okay.
But now I'm just like, fuck, I highlighted everything.
While you get to that, I also wanted to mention another song that I think maybe you're not going to love me for this, but I actually put it's good. It was solid. It was a solid song. But for me personally, I was like, why is it in here? It's very like mid for me.
Ooh, okay.
It's I Feel It Coming by The Weeknd.
Ooh, I'm obsessed with that song.
Really?
Yeah, that's what really started to get me to, I don't want to say like the 80s, but like The Weeknd in general, because I saw the direction he was going in.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it was that song. I want to talk about that too. Disturbia by Rihanna.
Oh, that one was on my super love.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
What I want to say about that is I think it's so funny how we both put a Rihanna song and they both, I think, represent us specific, like how we are. So the song that you put was Work, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And I feel like that's literally both our vibes. And the fact that it's by the same artist is what makes it more funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just really like I Feel It Coming. And especially the way it transitions to the next song that I have in the playlist. I'm just like, it's beautiful.
Ooh, one also, sorry to
no.
tell you, but there was one called ASMR.
ASMR Lover by RuPaul.
And yes, you know what went through my mind when I heard that song?
What?
did he sample My Boo for that song
Ooh, I don't.
by Ghost Town DJ? Do you know which one song I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure, but I don't think so. Cause
Really?
he worked. Fuck, who's the artist? I think
Cause
it's like
that tempo
Skeleton.
was hitting
It's good,
like
right?
that other one,
Mm-hmm.
and it just clicked in my mind. I was like, this is similar, and that's why maybe I fucked with it because I was like, it reminded me of like that other song, and I'm like, I fuck with that one too. So
Yeah.
it was a vibe.
For sure, for sure. I also put that song because I wanted to put like early 2000s music,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is, the way I approach each year is I have sections per year that I listen to specific music. So 80s is like winter and all that, but I listen to like Y2K during spring, and I didn't want to listen to it now because I'd get into it earlier, and by the time it gets to spring or summer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be over it.
Mm.
But the song that did surprise me
Mm-hmm.
was Feeling Good by Nina Simone. That was such a good song. But I want to know, like, what's the significance of this song in your life?
I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so empowering, I feel. Um and it just speaks to me now
Mm-hmm.
cuz I am feeling good. You know?
Ooh,
I
okay.
am feeling empowered. I am feeling like I'm in my new like obviously I'm in my in my new era of, healing but still like I guess making progress in what I want and what I'm doing and really taking the world and making it mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she opened the gates to like learning more about soul music.
Gotcha.
And I even studied a little bit in college because of her. Cuz I was
Ooh.
like, "Ooh, the way like that she I don't know what the specific vocal is, but like she kind of it's called like scat or something.
Yeah, scat.
Where she and I thought that was so iconic. Like I don't know why, because it's like an artistic move to
Mhm.
make, right? Like how Mariah Carey hits the like her
Yeah.
the
Like
other
how?
ones, yeah, like I'm not gonna do it again. You replay. Yeah, you just feel the emotion through the song. So yeah, that's
For
just
sure,
kind
for
of
sure.
little thing.
You mentioned like being distinct and having like an iconic part of their music
Mhm.
portion.
Mm-hmm.
One song I did notice was The Hustle by Van McCoy.
Yes.
And everyone knows the flute, the instrument,
Mm-hmm.
the instrumental, all
Mhm.
that. So on that topic, do you think there's been a recent song where that specific part or musical instrument is going to be used in the future? Or do you think, like, in a way, um like, what do you see our current music like? How do you see our current music in the sense that do you think we still have that?
Like creating something new
Like
and different?
something so iconic
No.
that may be used in the
Hell
future? No?
we don't have that. Like
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but uh yeah, we don't. There's nothing. It's sad to say, but for me personally, there's nothing now much that I'm like I love.
What was the last song then that you could remember that you think will be referenced in the future?
Probably a Bruno Mars song. There could be. I'm not saying no, like completely no, but it's like a very slim chance that something will translate.
Gotcha.
For the long haul as how those iconic people did and how
I
it's
could kind of see, not to be biased, but Thank You Next.
oh
The
yeah,
I could see that being sampled.
really,
But in terms of like music that's on the radio now, no.
okay, yeah, I think we're on the same.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same wave.
We see each other.
Yes. I have just one more question for
Okay.
you. Well, it's more
no.
like a thought.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Okay.
there was one here. I think it was In a Dream.
Ooh, uh-huh.
Very club wise.
In a dream.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. It was giving me like
Is
club.
that what made like really set the to that influenced your question earlier? Like, oh, is this 80s club theme?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
And then I put um that I like the lyric in a dream you'll find my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to ask you, but I kind of don't.
Ask it, bitch. Be blunt. Anything.
But some of these songs,
Mm-hmm.
it's also very love
Yeah.
vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Is by any chance could it be like
Ooh.
in your heart? Like, do you feel?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, it could be interpreted for something that I don't want to say yearn for,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe in your deepest, like in your deep conscious, gravitate to those songs that have maybe that interpretation of love in the song, and it's a way of, by you hearing it, healing you in hopes, in aspiration to have that one day. Not that you don't have it, but like at a greater volume.
Ooh, okay. To answer that, yes and no.
Okay.
Personally, I mean, it's not even an opinion. Everyone wants to be loved at the end of the day. Everyone wants to have that person, you know? They want to be, they just want to have that connection with someone or something to know that they not necessarily matter, but that they're cared for. The reason I put that song is because I always heard that song growing up, whether it was like cleaning on Sunday mornings or like, oh, not the church. But like even like at parties and everything, I feel like 80s and 90s, just even in the 2000s, just ruled everything. And if you think about it now, it's all Bad Bunny. Like, no offense, not saying it's bad, but it's like I miss that time where it's like it just reminds me of my childhood. But I don't know, when it comes to love, it's a very, how do I say this? It's not necessarily that I need it, but I feel like if I'm being like brutally honest, there's gonna be times where it's like you want it, and especially in a economy that is very driven, that you need it to be successful to have this house, you know, just everything. And seeing it always constantly shown on social media, it's always going to be in the back of your head. I try not to get too close to people because ultimately they could always say that they're going to be there for you. But in reality, I know it's not true. In the sense where it's like, yes, they're going to say they're going to be there for me, but they're not going to have the experiences. And this is going to sound so arrogant, or like the mindset to actually help, because it's always going to be influenced from their background or what they think, and they haven't experienced what I've experienced to really say something. And especially like with friends, there's a lot of people, and I feel bad that they want to get close to me and they want to be friends, but I put such a barrier in like shoving them, because it's like, you're gonna leave at the end of the day. You're gonna leave no matter what, regardless, you're gone.
I feel like this could just be my thought, but maybe you put that wall and like I'd almost like push them away so you don't get hurt.
I think that's what it is too, but I don't want to say it's attachment issues, because it's not either.
Yeah, I know, because it's just like, I don't know, it just gives me that sense of like, I don't know, maybe because I don't know, like, because I don't know too much, but like, if you were disappointed multiple times,
oh, for sure,
in your life, it's just like, you already know, like, it's almost like, oh, it's gonna happen again,
yeah, a repeated process.
you avoid it to not get hurt, and to not put those expectations on those people so that they don't disappoint you, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, because I've had the same thought process as that, and I've thought about that too, and I know that is a part of it, no matter what I want to say, and I could always try to work on it and like put it down, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm just here to focus on me. You know, I got to do what I got to do. Yeah, it's like, you're not going to pay my bills, you're not going to buy my house. Yeah.
Period. Okay. Yeah, because the only person that's gonna be with you is yourself.
And a dog. Yeah. I want a dog.
Well, not a dog, because the dog's
gonna die, but they're more loyal than people.
I know, but what I'm trying to get here, the deep down, is like, you're gonna be with yourself regardless.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there is one more thing I want to ask you. What do you think your playlist as a whole says about you?
As a whole, you're getting the evolution of me. because these are all I selected each song from different times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning, the one that you heard,
Yeah.
that was the first.
Selena
Yeah,
Quintanilla.
that was my childhood.
Yeah.
Selena was my childhood. Michael was my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Then moving forward, it was, I believe, like RBD, like, you know, because I was in my little, not even preteens. This is like when I'm like 6, you know,
Mhm.
like also still in my early childhood days. Then it kind of leads to like my teen days, and that's where Bartender and Rock Your Body come
Yeah.
in. 1-2 Steps, Sierra, Skipping, um, all major parts of like early 2000s music that were dominating, I feel like, in that time, and Amy Winehouse as well. And it's funny because unintentionally too, this list goes by year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, then it just progresses to as I get older, and that's where it
Gotcha.
go like with the more ratchet music with
Uh-huh.
with Red Nose, and I don't want to put Rihanna in that thing, but like Rihanna was like very like, you know,
Essential.
she was in her Pon de Replay,
Oh,
era,
uh-huh.
and I'm always working, so that that song hit. All of these songs that I did like, I wanted to know kind of more who influenced them and who were their mentors or leaders that they looked up to, and that's how I came to um, learning about Ray Charles, Nina, kind of like the founders of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
these each individual like uh cited in terms of soul and R&B and those sorts of things. I go into Sabor a mí,
Mm-hmm.
Amor Eterno, and Juan Gabriel. And I think I put those now in more recent years because of my experiences now. I now understand those songs than I
Mm-hmm.
did back when it was
Oh, for sure.
in my earlier days, and I've
Mm-hmm.
come to appreciate them because I remember like I'd be like, "Nah, turn that thing on. I want to listen to Michael."
Mm-hmm.
And now like I grab onto these songs because of the meaning that they have and
For
the
sure.
weight of the words that these songs have, and specifically Amor Eterno.
Mm-hmm.
I would just sing it to sing it, but now that it has meaning to me and what the song means in itself, it just brings a, you know, a comfort
Mm-hmm.
to me, and hasta cuenta como un acercamiento to the people that I have lost, and es como un honor to them if I do, you know, listen to it or if I do sing it, because it's I'm
Yeah.
like I reference thinking about them. But they say I'm fun. I
Mm-hmm.
can get deep, right? Like deep
Yeah.
in song. I mean deep in meaning for the song, and I don't know. I think it's positively looked at. If you see that, I think you can be like, oh, she's a pretty cool chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's just me. What do you think your playlist says about you?
Ooh. I mean, it's kind of hard to say because there's so many different, like, distinct areas, and it could go so many different ways. Um, I think it shows the the duality of me.
Ooh, big
Yeah.
word.
Thank you. I know, I'm like encyclopedia who. Yeah, because you know, like how I dress, it's very like you said, rockero.
Yeah.
Someone said edgy. I'm like, okay, like I don't necessarily think of that of myself because there is times where I wear pastels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows like my influences because music does inspire my wardrobe. And if you're into astrology, I'm a Leo sun, Cancer moon.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, it shows the different sides. Like, yes, I could be, I don't want to say a bitch, but it's like I could be that certain exterior.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, also being such an emotional person. And the thing what I like about the music that I put too is that I'm not always gonna have the words to say exactly what I want, but it's like, bitch, I got a song just for you to explain it, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I have that point of reference. And also like in terms of like I know there is a lot of love songs,
Mm-hmm.
but and I feel like that's gonna be a misconception if someone were to listen to it.
Yeah.
But love doesn't necessarily have to be towards a person, like you said in a
Mhm.
previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have like someone to give that love to,
Mm-hmm.
there's different ways you could show your love or put love into. You could put it into the gym, you could put it into your creative work, you could put it into, you know, just your
Mhm.
daily lifestyle. And the thing with the songs too is that finding the beauty in the darkness.
Yeah.
And making things that typically are dark beautiful. So like A gorgeous nightmare is what I like to call it. So yeah, that's what I would say. Just how my playlist describes it.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you so much for sharing that.
For sure.
I appreciate it. And that was it for our podcast today. That was a
Ooh.
wrap. Hopefully you got to see a side to us that you don't often have a real insight to. I feel. And I think some of these songs that we shared with you guys, are in some ways or in many ways a part of us and has had major influence on us. And yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
Ooh, a little
And
therapy session.
yes, so be sure to catch us on our next one. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and leave a thumbs up
All right.
on our video and on audio, 5-star reviews only.
Period.
Yes, and thank you so much.
And peace.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Chilling East Spilling podcast with your hosts, Emily and Hector. Follow the Chilling East Spilling podcast on Instagram, X, and TikTok at Chilling East Spilling. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Thank you for listening. Join the Chilling East Spilling podcast again next Monday at 5 p.m.